Buying a drone can be a very difficult decision. There's so many options, and if you're someone like me who flies almost every day, it's a very important decision. Not only do I enjoy flying this as a hobbyist, but I use it for my work and my career. Over the past year, I have put over 1,000 miles on DJI products, and that is just the beginning. One thing I will say is no matter which drone I end up with, when it's a DJI, I always get the job done. I have extreme confidence. And even flying in this desert heat, it's my Apple iPhone that's overheating first. I've been pushing this drone to the limit, and I plan to find its boundary, besides skyscrapers. Hey, what's going on everyone? Nick Corona here. And if you found yourself watching this video, you're probably wondering the same thing I am. Do you buy the Mavic Mini or do you get the Air 2? What are the differences, the pros, the cons? We're gonna go over a few of those things. First of all, right off the bat, if money is not a factor, of course the Mavic Air 2, being the newest drone, has more impressive stats at a higher price tag. But the first thing I want to go over right away is reasons why you would get the Mavic Mini even if money was not a factor for you. And the very first reason is if you're leaving the country. If you're buying this drone because you're a world traveler and you're going to be going to all these different places, that's a really simple choice. Just get the Mavic Mini because it's under the weight limit to where you're going to be able to just pretty much go into any country and fly with that and not need any special licensing, even in places like Canada. So that's one major reason. The second reason you'd get the Mavic Mini right off the bat is if you need to physically get really close to wildlife. If you want to be right by ducks and birds and things like that. The bigger Mavics cause a little bit more disturbance. The Mavic Mini is really small. Sometimes birds even think it's just another bird, and it's so quiet. Also, if you're going to be flying, really close to people, the Mavic Mini, once again, is just much less of a disturbance. The third reason, you just need the drone to be small. Like if you actually want to fly through some really tight space to get some crazy shot like you see in the videos sometimes. So there's a few obvious ways to compare these drones. Things like flight time, range, video quality, all that stuff. But first, what I think we should do is let's just take a quick look at the DJI promo video and go over the selling points and how realistic they are, and this will definitely help you figure out which drone is going to be right for you. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at this Mavic Air 2 promo video. Very slick looking drone. Right off the bat, it looks very similar to the Mavic 2. Half-inch sensor. Now 48 megapixels is a lot. The half-inch sensor is the same as what the Mavic 2 Zoom has, but the Pro has a 1-inch sensor. 8K hyperlapse, that's cool. I don't know how excited I am for it though. Noise reduction, a lot of these things are things that you can do in post-production, but it's just giving you something better out of the camera. That's something to be very excited about. 60 FPS, 4K, and 240 frames per second. That is some super good slow motion, and that's probably the one main thing I'm super jealous about. HDR flight, once again, that's just going to make it look better coming out. 34-minute max flight time, that is pretty good, but keep in mind, you definitely don't get max flight time out of every flight. Spotlight 2.0, this will be really interesting to me because active track from my experience has just been terrible with my Mavic 2, and that has more sensors than this. So right off the bat, when people say they're getting it for active track, really keep in mind what you're tracking. It's good for tracking a car out in the open. So what's really different, the big thing that stands out to me is having the ability to do that slow motion. I was definitely a little disappointed to still not see a zoom feature, but it makes me think that they just must definitely be saving that for whatever the Mavic Pro 3 is going to be. I mean, they've done every combo other than that, right? They haven't done a really good camera with the zoom lens in the Mavic series. So let's just take a quick look at the Mavic Mini promo video. The Mavic Mini promo is obviously all about being really tiny, and the Air 2 is tiny, but the Mavic Mini is so tiny. They show you just putting it in your pocket. Like, I don't know how realistic that is. I wouldn't probably just put it in my pocket. It's pretty breakable. 2.7K. This video does a really good job at showing you what you can get out of the Mini when you do some color editing and color correcting and get everything, you know, looking good. This is pretty realistic as far as, you know, maybe flying it around your friends, getting some cool clips. You could hand the controller off and anyone could probably fly it. It's a pretty easy to fly drone, but so, you know, so is the Air 2 or any other drone. A lot of these things are all in the Air 2, but this video does a really good job at showing you guys how much you can still get out of the Mini. Now this part is a little ridiculous. I don't know if I would go through, you know, planning a whole dance routine to then just be filmed by a Mavic Mini, but I guess it, you know, could get the job done. It's a great, you know, on the go drone, so yeah, take it to the beach. On the go world traveling, great example of world traveling right here. You know, when it really comes down to it, if you're considering getting the Air 2, it's an all-around wow, this little girl just completely ruined the drone. She just drew all over it. I don't know. I just can't get over that girl wrecked the drone. Now going live, I've never actually been able to get that to work, so I don't know if anyone's gotten it to work on the Mini, but it doesn't work very well on the Pro. I have to do it manually. 249 grams, like we said, that's the biggest selling point. If money's not a factor, guys, you would pretty much probably always get the Air 2 unless you know, like we talked about earlier, if you're going to be leaving the country potentially, or if you're going to be flying in areas where you want to make an extended effort to not be disturbing. If you're considering getting the Mavic Air 2, it's really cool to have those slow motion features, but I'm not gonna lie, if you're spending $1,000, it really tempts me to tell you maybe to just spend the extra $350 to get the zoom. I mean, it's an $800 drone versus a $1,350 drone, so I guess it's a little bit more than spending $350, but just keep in mind, with the Mavic Air 2, you still don't have that zoom feature. So unless there's something that super duper sticks out about that Mavic 2 that you just have to have, I would almost recommend hanging in there until the Mavic 3 comes out, just so we can see what's in store. If you know you want it, you know, if you would get the Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad, no, definitely just get the Air 2. The 1-inch sensor, in my opinion, is completely overrated. Right now, if you're not considering the zoom, then that's an easy choice, the Mavic Air 2. So when it comes to range and connectivity, they both have really phenomenal range. You guys have seen plenty of videos of the Mavic Mini flying miles and miles away. The Mavic Air 2 is rated to go even further than the Mavic 2. So I mean, it's pretty uncomparable how much further it's going to be able to go. The best way to put it is both these drones will completely get the job done, although you're definitely going to experience more interference with the Mini. Wi-Fi, things like that. If you're flying around houses, you're definitely going to, you know, have moments of kind of like cutting out and things like that, whereas the OcuSync is a really strong connection. So if that's something you're worried about, that's part of the price difference. That's a huge part of the price difference, especially in the tech. Now, when it comes down to the video and photo quality, the Air 2 is going to be really good. Especially out of camera, it's definitely going to look better. But I will say, you can squeeze so much out of the Mini. To the point where I would say, unless you're doing a professional project, you know, like a music video or something for someone that you're getting paid for, this is going to do what you want. Like if you're you're looking for real estate photography, if you're a realtor and you want to fly around the house, get some cool videos and photos, yes, this is going to be great and it's going to be good enough to impress people and not leave them wondering about your quality or anything like that. The one cool thing that the new Mavic Air 2 has is the IBIS, so it has air detection where you can actually see other airplanes in the air and it gives you a notification, which is kind of nice. Although, you know, I haven't had any calls too close. It would be it would be very comforting to get that warning before, you know, there's just a helicopter right by you and you're freaking out, or an airplane or something. So that's one feature that I got to give to the Mavic Air 2 that's supposed to be in all future DJI products. So these are both just phenomenal drones, but if you're watching this video because you want the best value for your money, the most bang for your buck, it's just gonna be the Mavic Mini. It's such a great drone for $500. And if you just want the best drone, it's obviously gonna be the Mavic Air 2. Unless, remember those few things, like if you're leaving the country or you just need a tiny drone. The best thing about getting any drone in the Mavic series is how little of a package they come in. That is my absolute favorite part about it, is having everything all in one that I need here. My only complaint, I've had a few minor complaints about these bags. They're designed completely for the drone, and I have a few complaints about my Mavic 2 bag as well. But even just talking about the Mavic case, the big problem with it is it doesn't really come with a good spare location for your charger, your extra blades, your screwdriver, your extra memory cards. Like in my Mavic bag, there's extra compartments all over the place. So I'm working on coming up with a solution to help with this, and I want to see what you guys think of it. But we're essentially working on some inserts that just go underneath the controller and underneath the battery charger to help you stay totally organized. So we got just a little container here that's just the right size to hold your spare blades, and then your screwdriver just can go in this little hole right here. So that goes right under the transmitter. And then this little thing here is great because it holds your cord in it, it holds your power brick, it holds your spare sticks and your wire and SD card. And like I said, there's nowhere, if this is all you want to bring, you're gonna have some spare stuff floating around. So I'm working on a solution for that. Let me know what you guys think below. This is a prototype here, so if it's something you're interested in, I would definitely like to know. That's, you know, one of the only downsides, because unlike that video, I'm not sticking this in my pocket. I appreciate my drone and I don't want to break it. And please don't color on my drone either. I like it. Please don't go home and color on your drone. And if you do, please post the picture below in the comments. I would really like to see that. I hope this video helped you all decide which drone you're going to be going with in 2020, whether it's the Mini, the Air, or if you're going to be like me and wait for the Mavic 3. I just want to remind you, all their drones are great. All their drones still hold value, and no matter what you get, you're going to be flying with us. So thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.